Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're going to be traveling out through the Earth's atmosphere, up into outer space, and traveling in orbit around different planets. We're going to be seeing different resources and gathering them as well. Today we're talking about Pearl Lands. Now today I'm going to give you a rules school. In this case, I'm going to give you a quick overview, and then I'm going to teach you how to set up and play the game rule for rule so that you don't have to dive into the rulebook and you'll get to enjoy the game quicker. So here we go. Pearl Lands is a 2 to 5 player resource management game that takes 30 to 90 minutes to play, and over the course of the game you are trying to build pearl extraction facilities and rain collection dams and mana harvesters, and you'll do so by gathering different resources and then turning them into other things, sometimes buying ships of cargo which give you defense and allow you to trade for other resources. You'll be buying attack ships that allow you to steal things from other players. You'll be gathering and playing different universe cards, which will allow you to maybe just get some resources, or attack and destroy people's ships, or change and trade with resources. You'll be rolling dice when you're trying to steal things from other players, but there's also lots of strategies devising plans to trade with other people, and trying to decide when to play cards to manipulate different resources that you'll be getting throughout the game. To set up, place the board in the middle of the table, and you're going to shuffle and randomly place all of the resource tokens around, starting on number 1, and placing them all the way around so that every number has a resource token like pearl, rain, or mana. Each player is going to select a planet board and the corresponding colored planet token. Any boards and tokens not used because you're playing with less than 5 players will be returned back to the box. Then you'll set up the rest of the components off to the side. For these tokens, it's going to be 1 for each player, and from left to right we have cargo ships, standard attack ships, advanced attack ship, pearl extraction facility, rain collection dam, and mana harvester. You're also going to have 3 black dice for each player, a blue attack die, a red defense die, and all the shuffled universe cards that say Pearl Lands on the back. You'll also place the trade center board out where everyone can reach it. To see who's going to start, everyone will roll a die. The highest one will go first. The first player is going to roll 4 dice. They're going to add up all of these numbers, and they're going to place their planet token on that number on the board. Since this is 18, I would place my planet on the 18. I would just go like that, and now my planet is there. You'll also set aside the resource crystals in their corresponding piles. We have the green rain crystals, the red pearl crystals, and the yellow mana crystals. Each person will also get a player aid to go along with their planet board. Once all the planets are placed, each player will take 1 resource that's surrounding them and notate that on their planet board. For example, this black planet here, they are surrounded by red, green, red, yellow. So we have 2 pearls, a rain, and a mana. They will then take those resources and place them on their resource reference. This will help them know what resources they get every turn. But if your planet is not touching 4 different things, then we look underneath. For example, in this purple planet, we're touching a green rain, a yellow mana, a green rain, but then we would look under for the 4th, and then we have the red pearl. If we look at this green planet, it's touching a red pearl, a green rain, underneath it is a yellow mana, so 1 of each so far, and then we would look under here, which is another green rain there, and everyone would get those 4 resources as shown and place it on their resource reference on their planet board. The object of the game is to be the first player to build all 3 buildings, which are the pearl extraction facility, the rain collection dam, and the mana harvester. And you'll do so by having resources of the right quantities and types in order to get those, so let's talk about how a turn works. Each person is going to go through 3 phases on their turn, and then the next player clockwise will do the same, and so on and so forth. The first phase is called the resource phase, and the first thing you'll do is you'll get resources depending on what's on your reference board. So in this case, I'm going to get 2 pearls, 1 rain, and 1 mana because that is what is in my reference. Now there are some other things you can do in the resource phase, but we'll get to those later. Let's go to the buy phase, where in this phase you can buy up to 1 thing per turn. You might want to buy a cargo ship. It would go in your cargo ship spot, and it costs any 3 resources. You could possibly buy an attack ship. A standard attack ship right there would cost you 1 of each. You could upgrade that standard attack ship to an advanced attack ship, and that just costs 1 more of each of the resources, because you can only have 1 attack ship at any given time. But if I did not have any ships at all, and I wanted to go straight to the attack ship, then it costs 2 resources of each of the 3. You could buy a universe card, which costs any 3 resources. You can only have 2 of these at most in your hand. If you get more, you can discard down to 2. You could buy a pearl extractment facility, and that basically would be 6 resources of pearl and 2 of the other 2 resources. You could buy a rain collection dam, and this one would cost 6 rain resource crystals and 2 of the other 2. And you could get a mana harvester, which is 6 mana and 2 of the other 2 resources. So let's move on to the action phase, where you can basically do 1 attack per turn, assuming you have an attack ship. You could do 1 trade per turn, you can hold up 2 of these cards, and the actions can be played in any order. So let's talk about some of these actions. You can attack another player, which counts as your single and only attack. So let's say this player was attacking this player. This one has an advanced attack ship, and it has 3 attack dice. This player has a standard attack ship, so they get 1 defense dice. They also have a cargo ship. This is the most ships you can have. They also give you 1 defense dice. So this player would roll 2 dice, this player would roll 3 simultaneously, and then they'd rank them from highest to lowest, left to right. The defender has a higher number here than its higher number, so nothing gets stolen. Here the dice are tied, and the ties go to the defender, so nothing gets stolen. And here it goes against nothing, so this player gets to steal any 1 item from there, so they steal this and they place it here. The same thing would have happened if this was a lower number here, 3 versus 4. The same thing would have happened, they would have won, but since there was no die, they won automatically. Another action you can take is a Kamikaze Attack. Again, you can only do 1 attack per action phase here, but let's say this was my first thing to do in the action phase, and I can destroy my attack ship to destroy someone else's any 5 resources of my choice. In this case, I only have 5, so these get completely wiped out. Now during the action phase, you can also play a universe card. You can actually play 1 or 2 of them. Some of them just give you resources like 3 pearls or 2 and 2, 3 or 3 mana. Some of them allow you to destroy an attack ship, either a standard or advanced. Now remember, you don't destroy attack ships when you're rolling dice to attack them, you just usually have to steal. This allows you to destroy somebody else's attack ship. This one allows you to play an extra attack this turn. This one allows you to swap 2 resource tokens on the main board, which will, change what things you get each round during the resource phase. You can trade with another player. Remember, only 1 trade per turn, and only if both of you have cargo ships and they're both on your planet board. You can trade up to 4 resources with any 1 player, and it doesn't have to be equal. For example, let's say I really want these 2 reds. So I could say, you know what, I'll give you all 4 of these for your 2 reds, and they might say, sure, that's a sweet deal for them. So they would take these 2, put them here, and they might do that because this player now has 6, which is enough to start almost getting the pearl extractment facility, and this player did well because now they've got an even amount of resources there. Now instead of trading with another player, you can trade with the trade center. In order to do this, you have to have at least 4 resources, and you need to have the cargo ship in your planet board. What you'll do is take exactly 4 resources of your choice off your planet board and place them into the respective general supplies. It has to be exactly 4, not less than 4, not more than 4, but you get to choose which 4. Then you'll take your cargo ship and you'll place it onto the trade center. And I would place it right here in the top spot of that trade center. Now what this does is it takes some time, but you can get any 4 resources of your choice. For example, I spent this one here. Now keep in mind, you can never use this if you had just gotten the cargo ship this turn, but it was a future turn, I moved it here. Now next turn, at the beginning of my, during the resource phase, after I get my reference resources, the next thing I'll do is I'll move this down and then go to the buy phase. And then I'll do my buying. It will then be my next turn. I'll go get my normal resources, and then this will move from here back to my board, and I'll get any 4 resources that I want. So it takes about 3 turns. You can get exactly what you want, and you don't have to trade, but it does cost you time. And remember, when this cargo ship is not on your board, you have less defense. And remember, you can only store up to 20 resources, so if this is full, you cannot take any more in. Now the game ends as soon as somebody is able to get all 3 of these. We have the Pearl Extraction Facility, the Rain Collection Dam, and the Mana Harvester. Now, once this happens, this will trigger the end of the game. Basically, all players complete their turns in this last round. Now, if multiple people build all of these, then whoever has the most resource crystals win. If it's also tied, then it ties between those players and they share victory. Well, I hope that helped you dive right into the game without reading the rulebook and that you're able to enjoy the game faster. If you have more questions, feel free to leave them as comments and we'll do the best we can to answer them.